Alright everyone, this is Babylon here. Today we're going to finish up episode 7's second mission there. We just went way too far, too long there. Uh, I did do a lot of the hunting and stuff offline, uh, or unrecorded anyway, but I'll take you out to the pods here in a little bit. Right now we're just getting some stuff made, get a windmill down to help out with some of the mining drills. Uh, the thing is, I need to talk about is I'm gonna have to try to figure something to do with the gaming and editing and stuff. I've been staying up real late, not getting still. I don't know what it is with me. I still wake up at 5 o'clock and I'm drowsy all day. It's something that's unreal. Like I was recording yesterday and literally, fell asleep while recording. So so I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do is probably not post anything for about 3, maybe 4 days. What I'm going to wind up doing is probably thinking about streaming. So I'm looking at encoders and stuff like that for YouTube and see how that works, and then just play for like, I don't know, 6 hours or something straight, and then use that recording to make my videos with to make that a little bit easier. Uh, Not only that, if somebody joins, I'll be able to talk to them, you know, respond to their questions and stuff like that, and just simply have someone to talk to while I'm playing. And I think that will help out as well. But at the same time, there's a lot of more. This editing stuff is way more intense than I thought it was. And like like for when I make a cutout, I would love to figure out how I'm supposed to get that zoom in and zoom back out to the new area instead of just making a split cut and all of a sudden you're there. Something to make it dress up, make it look nicer. But at the end of the day, that's what I'm looking at. Uh, at the same time, yesterday while I was playing, well, when this video ended, I was getting everything to run around to all the drills and stuff, and uh, gather all my resources and everything. That's where I ended this video here. Now I didn't do a lot of stuff. I extended the base. I brought all the windmills to the base, so that way I don't have to go around and keep them repaired like this one here. I wasn't paying attention when I first got into the video that the other one was pretty well damaged and it was barely. I think one or two wasn't even turning. Well, they were turning, but it wasn't enough power for the drill to drill. So I had moved all the windmills, added a few extra windmills, added a few drills too. I have a couple of places where I added some stuff to get more resources, and built the electric furnace so I could start making composites. You're about to see what we're going through right now is up to the pod, so you can see what all I put into it and how much I got left. And uh, it was now all that leather and everything. I had all that leather in the box. I just threw it in there, and it was enough to fill it up. I ran short a little bit on the fur, but definitely on the meat. 500 meat's a lot of meat to have to cook, and I just wanted to make sure that you knew this. This is the thing I was talking about. I didn't get to try it because I couldn't make the vapor condenser. I was thinking about using it to cause all those animals to come in to get the meat faster, but unfortunately I didn't have all the stuff for the composites to make the vapor condenser. But I will by the next video and everything. But like I said, I was thinking about streaming, so I had to figure out OBS. I think that's what it is. I don't know if Demo Creator here will actually let me stream or if it's just for recording. If that is, then that was a bad mistake on my part because I was thinking about streaming in the future. But now that I got my second screen monitor up, I can actually see it. Now I don't have a camera, so you won't see me. But at the end of the day, at least I'll still be able to talk to you. Hopefully, if everything works out right. But I got to figure out somehow to connect it to YouTube and the videos and all that stuff for the data transfer and everything. And hell, I don't even know if the computer I got's 8 to 10 years old, so I don't even know if it can handle it or not. So I'm still got to figure that out. If not, I can still just do what I'm doing. But I'd probably play for like 6 hours and then just use that recording to make several videos out of it instead of, you know, playing 3-4 hours and then condensing it down to an hour to 45 minutes. Like this here was like a full 2 hours and 45 minutes. So by the time it's all done, I had it down to 45 minutes. But I had to cut a lot of stuff out of it. But this building here, you know, I had one spot that had a gap in it, and I couldn't get that gap out no matter how many times I set the thing. But my idea was to turn the vapor condenser on and be able to walk all the way around just repairing the fortifications to it. And then when I looked at the corners, I, you know, ran up to it, I didn't get damaged. So if one came up to the corner, it would probably damage it and destroy it. But then here I just went back to hunting and gathering and carrying on. But like I said, I'm kind of looking forward to trying that differently, and especially get back on my sleep pattern. That that is just driving me nuts, you know. But like I said, it's fell asleep while recording. So yeah, that's, well, I didn't fall completely asleep. I kept dozing off and immediately coming back. I was really fighting it to stay playing the game to record. But you'll see a couple of spots here where I just stop and then then I'll go back to it again. Now I did cut a big part of it out while I was waiting for the last of the meat to cook up with the end of mission, and then I'll talk more about the OBS and all that stuff here later, and the recordings and stuff. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully I can get it down to where I can be able to better manage my time. And not only that, I need to really learn some more stuff about editing, thumbnailing, and all that stuff, so that way it can look better. Especially with the, well, especially talking to myself too. So that way y'all have something to hear me say something other than just watch a video gameplay. But yeah, it's just one of those things. And like I said, I'm at the end of the next. I didn't even record all that movement and all that stuff, but I'll walk y'all through all the changes made and everything when I make the next recording. But it's just it was crazy, you know, that, and halfway through this my headset quit, so I had to stop the video recording and everything, and then plug my headset in, let it charge up. But it's fully charged now, so I ain't got anything to worry about. But I just got to remember I got to plug it in each night, because I'm spending a lot of time on the computer and listening to videos about certain things and stuff. But it's just something I got to get used to. For those guys who watched the video, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Y'all guys are awesome. You know, we had some views there. But yeah, if it's the kind of stuff you're interested in, and like I said, you don't be afraid to leave a comment, give me some advice, or tell me off. It doesn't matter. Just if you like it. Now here in a second, I'm going to show you. I went through to unlock everything in my skill tree, or not skill tree, but the blueprint tree, and he's got everything. I think everything's unlocked. So, except for the DLC stuff and the, I think that's all mission related stuff that's not unlocked. Even though I had the points, it stays locked. I think you have to complete missions or stuff to get that unlocked. But by the time we get all that unlocked, he'll have enough blueprint points to unlock everything. Until they decide to come out with a new DLC, you know, and then, but I'm not ever getting rid of this character. I put too much time into it. But yeah, so just be patient with me, and we'll get the video going and get this mission knocked out. Like I said, it was just more than I thought was, you know, that I could handle it in one video there. That was crazy. But yeah, it's just, but hard mode 500 cooked meat is not exactly easy. I found out later towards the end what I should have been doing about cooking the meat. I should have put the fireplaces down like I did, and then separate the meat so it cooked in multiple deals instead of one deal. It probably would have went a little bit faster, and I wouldn't lost near as much meat while the stuff was spoiling. But yeah, just sit back and enjoy. And I'll holler at you when it needs to talk to something. Yeah, here we're just getting a few things crafted, getting some resources done where I can get some stuff crafted up. I think here's where I made a extra uh, windmill. Uh, but yeah, at nighttime too, I can't close the door. But I think we're about to go on the hunt and start getting more meats and stuff cooked up. You can see here I got plenty of meat in there cooking, but I should have, like I said, made multiple fireplaces up next toward the drop pod and then turn around and set everything up for it. But yeah, I started going through the hunt here and trying to get things done as fast as I could. Yeah, we gotta keep that bone, crushed bone going. That we would keep that epoxy going for making electronics and stuff. Uh, I do know that once we find the crude oil and get that set up, I mean, epoxy after that ain't no issue. Especially if you can store up enough of it to fill up 5 barrels or something. But it's just the timing of getting there and locating it. Now I know there's some in the south desert area. I know where there's 4 there, but as far as in the upper desert area where we're at, close enough to us, uh, I don't know. Have not fully done that desert area, so I don't know if there's oil up there or not. But we'll find out soon enough. But I did not, however, put a drill on the limestone that we found in that last video when I ran into it. Uh, from what I watched on it, that it takes a long time for it to gather. So, and be honest with you, you know, from what I see from the concrete versus it, I mean, yeah, it's brighter, but at the same time, it's I don't know if it's I don't know if it's worth the hassle of waiting for that to go. And it would be different, you know, if you had nodes and stuff you can get, or you can send stone mixed with sand or something to make limestone or something of that fashion or something. Had the nodes or something in a game or something, that'd be different. But I hadn't seen any kind of resource node or anything that has limestone. So that in itself, there just on Olympus, though, it just doesn't make any sense to even try it. Uh, I'm sure there's people out there that has the patience on it that will run it and hopefully be able to make some stuff out of it or upgrade their base to it or something. But me, I actually just like the way the concrete looks. I just do wish, however, they had wallpaper for the inside interiors of the walls, but like where you don't have to see those boards, you can just take like a interior wall and just place it up against it or something. That would be pretty cool. But I hadn't seen anything like that in the game or seen anybody else do it. That way you can make your base look really cool on the inside. Now, once I get refrigerators, I won't be throwing that much meat into there to get that because we're be running nothing but electricity. And that's something else too. That place I was looking at building is surrounded by mountains, so solar panels might not be any good there. I probably would have to build a platform away from the mountains and run a power line out to the base, so that way the solar panels can get plenty of sun. Uh, you don't want to build in the shade of a mountain, so it or not You can build in the shaded mountain. You just don't want solar panels there because you're not really going to get the power that you need for the full day. Yeah, here's where I should thought of the idea where I needed to put the fireplaces down, or yeah, the campfires down, and cook the meat next to it. That way I didn't have to keep going back and forth to the base, other than to put away the good meats and stuff. But at the end of the day, I mean, mistakes are made. And at the end of the day, I ain't gonna sweat over it. But other than it took the video a little bit longer to do, but it worked out, I think. Yeah, here we're lucky at, like I said, once you put it in that pot, it doesn't spoil. If you had to deal with it spoiling and still have to keep up with the number, phew, and I don't think, I think I would have rage quit if that was the case. I did not realize my pod was that close to us. And here I couldn't find that damn animal I just shot. But we survived it though. Yeah, and here, like I said, we're just keeping crafting going, keep stuff smelting, and keep keep adding up to our resources. Uh, I know it's a lot of steel, but like I said, we're going to have a whole lot of steel when it comes to making the screws and the rebar and the concrete stuff. Uh, I think I just pretty much skipped over. Well, yeah, I got the platinum pickaxe here, but I don't know. It's like how do you want to say it? Uh, man, there's a whole bunch of other stuff you need steel for, but primarily, if you're going to build out of concrete, though, you're going to require a lot of rebar, especially rebar. Rebar only specs. I mean, one gives you five, I think, uh, or 10 or something like that. But screws, one steel would give you 100 screws, which I'm grateful for that. But it's just balancing it as you're making all your concrete stuff. And for what I'm planning on, what I'm looking at building, it's going to take a lot of concrete. So I'm just trying to keep a steady flow of steel coming in. But before we do anything, I think here's where we make the platinum seed and I think the knife. I think yeah, knife and shovel both. Yeah. But yeah, it's a grinder's game. But at the end of the day, it still can be fun. You just got to allow it to be fun. If you're one of those guys who takes gaming way too serious, then yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard on you. And this here's where one of the moments I actually fell asleep. That's the reason why I cut the video out there and came back in. But I had enough meats, I think, at this point to actually finish the quest. I think it's just waiting on those last few pieces to cook. I think, but yeah, it was nuts. Said just having to wait on those last two pieces. Or I think this is the last one here. I think this one. No, it has to wait on this last piece. And that brought that mission to an end. But that was pretty lengthy. Like I said, I wasn't prepared for the 1,000 fur and leather and 500 cooked meat. It turned out to be more than I thought it was going to be. And I'm sorry about that. But we got the mission completed. That's over with. And we can move on to the next one. But that next one will be in a few days. Like I said earlier, I'm thinking about streaming, but I have to make sure OBS and my computer can channel the data transfer to YouTube, and I got to figure out how to get it connected to YouTube, make sure everything works on it. But at the same time, the videos, don't get me wrong, I'm having fun trying to learn how to edit the stuff, but it gets into, like I said, like transition in the end, that little spot there where I just immediately cut out and immediately cut back to the next stage. I like to find a way to like zoom in or zoom out or something, and then come back and zoom back in or whatever, and then be at the next spot instead of that little chop. You know what I mean? So I need to learn how to do that. I'm going to have to learn how to stream too, but I have no camera, but I do have two monitors, and I don't know if I've never streamed before, but I've got verified on YouTube. I'm waiting on the results of that, if they're going to let me go live or not. Actually, I can check that now. And create, go live. Yeah, I can go live now if I want to. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, it's just one of those things. Get up to live stream now. Don't worry, later. Okay. Oh, later. Using code. Oh yeah, it's showing me all that stuff now. Yeah, it's just asked me. Okay, but anyways, yeah, YouTube says okay, I guess. But anyways, like I said, there's a lot that I have to learn. So, with that being said, I mean it's just gonna be a little time consuming, but most importantly, I gotta get my sleep habit back. I mean, getting to bed earlier and getting up. There's several times I was 3:30 in the morning, went to bed, got right back up at 5:30, and then I'd be drowsy all day long, catch myself not dozing off, So I just gotta get my sleep pattern back. But like I said, I think it worked better is if I probably record for 6 hours and then make several videos out of that 6 hours. I just gotta find a way to, when I'm playing the game, I don't see a timestamp anywhere when I'm recording on it without pausing and backing out of the game or bringing something up. So, which I can probably learn how to do that. It's just going to take me a little bit of time. But I hope you enjoyed it, and leave a like, leave a share. I mean, whatever you want to do, my man. And appreciate you watching. 5 Ones out. Peace.